Okay. So for this one, so we could play it. Let's say, basic way would just be like these chords, which you can do good stuff with basic chords. A lot of times it's about feeling, it's about dynamics, so versus like, say you have a keyboard where it's not touch sensitive, and then everything sounds like the same volume. But if you have a piano or a keyboard that's touch sensitive, then you can do dynamics. And then the other thing you can do is change it up. So a lot of times when you see stuff on sheet music, it'll be this just the whole time, but you can do like, and then you can do stuff like changing it up, throw a jazz chord in there like this one. Hi, Crystal Temp. So let's do this A minor chord in a variety of different ways. So we'll start like this. So I'm still playing the notes in there, but I'm just like kind of changing up. So going from the 7 to the 8. Switching back and forth between those. Like in this one, this is a G, but I'm kind of going back and forth between the A and the G at the top. Like that. So different ways to change things up. So look for like what do you call these, block chords? See how bad I am at theory? Like basically where they're all together, and look, you can do it in a smaller way. You can do it with the jazz chord. You can do like that. And at the same time, you can add a lot of like volume dynamics and stuff to it too, like, and speed it up and slow it down. Like that. So those are some things that you can do. And I think to get to that point, well, you're already a pianist, so you know different chords. So it's probably going to be easier. For folks who don't already know that, I would suggest maybe figuring out all the different ways that you can play a chord. So, you've got your C chord, your basic C chord, and you've got like a full one, then you've got this one, then you've got like this one. So it's like learning different, inversions for the chord. The more chords that you know, the more you can diversify it. And the more you can diversify it, I think the more you can play what you feel at the time. So let's try diversifying a little bit. And sometimes the best thing to do is just keep it really simple. Oh, another thing I'm learning from watching myself play here is that you can use music as kind of a way to have syncopation. So usually you have like, in arrangement, you'll have like drum or percussion in the background keeping the beat. But as a pianist, the great thing is you have so much opportunity to make your own kind of syncopation. It's weird because like I have to actually notice what I'm doing. It's a very natural feeling thing, so I have to kind of dissect it. See how I'm going back and forth? And so instead of just playing like this note, you could throw a chord in there too. Like that. So, okay, so far we have diversify chords, diversify the dynamics, how loud, how soft, how fast, how slow, and then having the right hand go back and forth between playing the melody and playing chords with the melody. So like, The other thing is, I think these are called suspensions. Like it's kind of like, you know, the chord you're going to go into. Like you're going to go into like an E major here, right? So you do, instead of 1 3 5, you do 1 4 5. It makes it more exciting. You can also do different kinds of suspensions. You could do a 1 4, 1 2 1 2 4 5 into a 1 3 5. Aiden said, "Why am I crying about music theory? I don't know. I cry about like random things based on like the mood that I'm in." The other thing you can do is change up the overall speed and intensity of the arrangement. So say a lot of times when I start playing, I'll start up here, you know, like it's a me, 1 2 3 4. Thank you for the follow. Cartoon Bug, thanks so much for the subscription. And then so you're playing slow, and then suddenly you could get all exciting. Oh, I noticed something else I just did. So sometimes her hands are like magical spiders. So the other thing that sometimes you can do is certain chords, kind of like, oh, Mikachu, hi, Dr. Mikachu, it's good to see you here. I hope you're having a good night. We're just talking about like, how would I explain this? Voicings, like how to make songs and arrangements sound less basic and more like inspired or emotional or something like that. So there's certain chords that are interchangeable with other chords. So I'm going to stay in C because it's the easiest to reference here. I think of I play in all the different keys, but the way that my brain perceives the music is like, I look at everything as C. So like if we're in A, for example, I think of C sharp as E and B as D. Anyways, okay. So one example, if we're in the key of C, a lot of times you can interchange F and D minor and get really different results. And oh, I have a great example. Optums, thank you for the follow. Okay. So there's this old song that was later sampled for a hip hop song in the 90s. And the original one is called I think it's called Islands in the Sun. It's like islands in the sun, do 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 do, da 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 da, run away with me to another place. Anyways, the rap that sampled this is called Ghetto Superstar, and they sampled it, but they changed one thing. Islands in the Stream. Thank you, Woodsticks. My bad, Waxakuni. Yeah, it's not Island in the Sun. I got it wrong. It's Islands in the Stream, maybe? Islands in the Stream. Do 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 do. Yeah, we can rely on each other. From one corner to another. So with this one, I actually really liked the what they did when they sampled it, because they changed one thing. They changed a chord. Okay, So the original one doesn't change very much. It's just like do 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 do, da da 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 do do do. It's really simple sounding, but when they sampled it, they just changed it to like ghetto superstar. That is what you are, coming from afar, reaching for the star. Run away with me to another place. We can rely on each other. From one corner to another. And basically they interchanged F with D minor, and I really liked how it sounded a little bit different. So from one corner to another. Yeah, so basically Bobski, thank you for the follow. So I think that's like a great example of how to make something sound less basic. Use more chords. Change it up a little bit. So for example, say you've got like one chord progression that starts off like, I'll just improvise something. So see, that's the first time or through. So see how that second time I went to A minor instead of back to C again? There's a lot of other things you can do there. Bobski said, hello, loved the music Into the Moon, so had to follow for your role in that. Have a great stream. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that. So that's another thing you can do is switch up certain chords, change things up there. So where are we at? We have dynamics, like playing things, adjust the volume, get loud, get soft at critical points, change the speed at which you're playing, during big moments you can play faster and then suddenly get really soft. Play different variations of chords is another one, like instead of just playing, play like the different variations. Change up like interchangeable chords, so like F and D minor, C and A minor, things like that can sometimes be swapped out. But those are some of the things that I do in order to make covers sound more like, I guess, I don't know. Like a lot of times when people have me mood flip songs, it's one of my favorite things to do because it kind of gives me an excuse to do exactly that, to kind of add more to it and try to put more feeling into it. Rob Sub says way too fast. So for example, like All Star, Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. So it's fast, and then you can change things around. Do some of that weird chord stuff. Hi, Westerford. Thank you so much for cheering those desserts. Oh, is that a pun tax? Haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. Actually, I saw you at Messiah's stream recently. Have to go to bed, but it's been a while, so puntax. A guy wearing camo pants with crutches stole my Pokemon. You can hide, but you can't run. You can hide, but you can't. Oh, I get it, because he can hide because he's wearing camouflage, but he can't run because he has crutches. That's pretty clever. How are you doing, Westerford? Priority Fire says, I like it when it's in some minor key and it goes to the fifth minor. It's so sad. I feel like one chord progression I noticed that sounds like so sad is going from the root key to like, I guess 4, the minor of that, like that. I don't know, Rickstarian, how do you make a fruit cordial? Make J, thank you for the follow. You be nice to it. See how it sounds so like sad and longing. Okay. But yeah, so All Star, we were doing that one. Somebody. Now I'm gonna show you all the things that I just said that you could do to make an arrangement or a cover or something sound less basic. So I'm gonna try to throw all of those into here when I do this one. Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kind of dumb with her finger and her thumb. So I'm gonna change the chord here and go to A minor. In the shape of an L on her forehead. Well, the years start coming and they don't start coming. Fed to the rules and I hit the ground running. Didn't make sense not to live for fun. Your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb. So it's starting to get louder now. So much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the back streets? You'll never know if you don't go. You'll never shine if you don't glow. So now it's kind of building up and then lower. Oh yeah, the other thing, when you want to get louder, you can go lower. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. And hey now, you're a rock star. You get the show on, get paid. And all that glitters is gold, only shooting stars break the mold. So how it gets quiet at the end. And then, you know, put a little improv in the middle. It's a cool place, and they say it gets colder. You're bundled up now, wait till you get older. But the meteor men beg to differ, judging by the hole in the satellite picture. The ice we skate is getting pretty thin. The water's getting warm, so you might as well swim. My world's on fire, how about yours? That's the way I like it, and I never get bored. Thank you, polychromatic navel fluff. I almost said that in one take. Hey now, you're a rock star, an all-star. Get your game on, go play. And oh, there's another thing you can do. When transitioning between two parts where you want to have more of an effect, like A minor, the relative minor of a key sometimes is like the really like poof. So sometimes before you get to that really poof moment, which you just have to know by feeling it, you can do like a transition key. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to climb from like G to, technically this is E major, but I'm going to do the inversion of it because it's climbing up the keyboard. So like, and then it sounds like more exciting. So it's like, hey now, you're an all-star, get your game on, go play. And hey now, you're a rock star, they get the show on, get paid. And all that glitters is gold, only shooting stars break the mold. And then finish with like just like a random combo of chords. Like that. So there we go, putting it all together, all the different hymns. It's really fun doing that because I don't think about any of this while I'm doing it. But I do notice, like, as I'm playing through, I go, oh, this is something you could do. This is something you can do. And I guess I also notice it too if, oh, Vane, thank you for the follow. Also, J3Z, thank you. What was I going to say? Yeah, so, like, there are things that I notice if I'm listening to certain covers or, you know, even songs on the radio. Sometimes I'll be like, this song's kind of basic. Because if we were to take that and just like distill it down to like the root chords, that would be the difference. It's essentially like, how much do you change it up, you know? It's just like food, right? Because you could have like, and I mean, plain food is good too, but you could have like a hamburger and it's just like regular, right? But say you like dress that thing up with like a piece of good cheese and like some onion strings and pickles and mayonnaise and mustard. I don't put all that on my burgers, but yeah. And then it's like, oh dang, that's not a basic burger. So it's the same thing, except instead of cheese and pickles and onion strings, it's like throwing in a couple like jazz chords or doing like an inversion of something and speeding up and slowing down and doing transitional chords and suspensions and stuff like that. I hope I explained that okay.